Hi everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie, and today is the next step or stage in our craft room organization for 2021. When I left you last week, we talked about zones, and I left you with the mission of dividing your space into zones, and starting with zone 0, which is your closest, most important spot to access, and then working outwards. The other task I gave you was to continue working on putting away any supplies that had a home that needed to be put away. Whether the system was effective or not, the point was to put it away for now, and we'll deal with the system at a later date. For those of you, me included, that have some stuff that doesn't have a home, you should have organized those into some sort of basic category, thinking along the lines of how you would use the product and ultimately how you would want to store that. From now on, it's going to get a little tricky because we're going to play a little game of dominoes. And by that I mean we're going to probably make some change that's going to impact something else, which will impact something else, etc., etc. And everybody's going to have a little bit of a different domino setup. So what I'm hoping to do is to just guide you through your next stage, whatever it is you determine that to be, and to offer encouragement. As I go along, I will be sharing with you the systems that I have implemented, what works and what doesn't work, and how I'm going about changing that. So this week's mission, if you want to accept it, is to fine-tune our zone 0. So in my case, my zone 0 is my desk area, not necessarily the calyx cubes that form the legs of my desk, but the desk itself. And I have on either side of me, so on either side, I have a couple table tidies. And for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how my desk is set up, but I do think I can make some improvements. I do have another hanging unit off the side, so not beside me, but on the left of me. And it blocks the calyx cube beneath it, and so it makes it difficult to pull things in and out. So I'm not really thrilled with that. And at first I was thinking that I was going to have to remove that storage solution and come up with something else, but instead I came up with something else so I could keep that. And I will share that idea with you here shortly. The other thing that I have is my paper trimmer sits on the floor quite often. I have my manual typewriter that also sits on the floor right next to me, and I'm hoping to come up with a better way to position those. Also in the back of my mind, I'm always keeping the idea that I need storage for projects, for ongoing projects, as well as places to store projects that need to dry. And they need to dry in a place where they're not going to get stuff put on or smushed, etc. All of that has led me to the idea of changing my work desk. And I made some changes last year, and I'll include the video above indicating how I reconfigured my desk. So previously it was a kitchen table. I used 2 calyx units and the tabletop, and now I am going to add a second layer to convert my workspace into a standing desk and to give me some additional space. So let me go show you what's what with the current situation around my desk. So this is the unit I was telling you about that I wanted to remove. It's just screwed into the edge of the table, but you can see it comes down into the calyx unit, and it makes it hard to pull things in and out. So raising this up 6 inches should solve that problem, and I don't lose that storage. I purchased these risers off of Amazon. They're just metal risers. And I also purchased these flanges, I guess. And the idea being that this will screw into the tabletop, this will go on top of the calyx unit, right? And I have another one that goes this way. Does that make sense? So I gain about 6 inches of space that I could then put things on top of the calyx units if I so desired. But then I got thinking even more, because I really didn't want to screw into the calyx units if I could avoid. And I thought, what happens if I laid another tabletop down? And that is the solution that I'm going to implement this week and probably next week. So I purchased an MDF board, had it trimmed to 3x5, and that is going to rest on top of the Kallax units. And then I will put these on top of that, and then my current tabletop on top of that. And it's going to be slightly higher than counter height, but not, I think it'll be okay. I'm 5'7", and I figure if someone who's 5'5" can use a standard counter without any issues, I should have no problems having this be a little bit higher than standard height. So that is the plan. So there is that giant piece of 3x5 MDF. It's 3/4 inch. I don't know if I had to go that thick, but I did. And I'm going to get that moved over onto here after I remove the tabletop. So there's the Kallax Unit 1, Kallax Units 2. This is going to come off and that's going to go on, and we're going to paint. My goodness, that board is heavy. Anyways, it's now on top of my so-called desk, if you will. I'm going to paint it, and then I will show you how it looks after that's done. Okay, so this is what it looks like with 4 coats of paint. I had just enough left over in that can. I still have a little tiny bit that I can use for touch-ups if need be. But this is it. I'm happy with it. Let's move on to the next step. Okay, so here's the desk all completed and ready to be put back into working condition. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Okay, so that's my new desk. I'm so excited and so pleased with how it turned out. Now I just need to get everything repositioned back, and I think I will do that as a midweek check-in. I will show you what I keep, or what I consider Zone 0 worthy, and maybe I have a few things in there that need to go elsewhere, but I will talk you through all of that in my midweek check-in. So your mission this week, again, take your Zone 0, have a good look at it, assess how your work surface is set up. Are there things that you can tweak? Go through all the items that you have on your desk. Anything that doesn't belong in Zone 0 you need to remove. You will probably place in a staging area. So again, pick another bin, bag, basket, and indicate what zone you think that should go in. So when we're ready to work in that zone, you can pull those supplies in. Let me know how it goes. If you haven't already joined my Face group, An Organized Crafted Life, and you are into Facebook, by all means, please join us. It's a great place where you can ask questions, share your progress, and we can encourage you along the way. Thanks again, everyone, and until next time, happy organizing.